Okay, tonight I'm doing episode 4, Dogman, Bigfoot, Mothman, Missing People, Cryptoids, Skinwalker, UFOs, you name it. We'll go into the lights that shine in the North Carolina mountains that people look at from the highway. They have an overlook, which we went there one night and I watched it. Everybody was like, well, just keep watching. Just keep watching. And then all of a sudden the lights started shining. Everybody was like, oh my God. There was a lot of people there. And we waited for a good 30 or 40 minutes. So we'll be coming back to that. The shining lights in North Carolina mountains that to this day they cannot figure out. Tonight we're going to Lake Jocassee. Jocassee. Right on Park Indian, Taxawani County. Jocassee, Taxawani. Okay. So my girlfriend, right, this is how the trip all starts. Let's see now. I'm going to Central Piedmont Community College, and I did get my 2-year degree there. And I'm a waiter at this Mexican restaurant. And she works at the hospital. And she comes into the restaurant. My father was a heart surgeon there. She'd actually operated with him. She was a registered nurse. She sits at the bar, what have you. She gets my name or my number somehow, calls me up, asks me out. Anyways, long story short, we end up going, after we've gone out several times and everything, we go to Lake Jocassee. Now, Lake Jocassee, you can see to the bottom of Lake Jocassee. Some of the most biggest trophy bass and everything have been caught out of Lake Jocassee, and I love to fish. So we go up there with her boat, and we put her boat in. She's this little boat with a little motor in the back. Not a big boat, a little boat. I would sit in the front to weigh it down, which I'm not that heavy at all, but we put everything in the front. So we go across Lake Jocassee to this little waterfall area. We're bass fishing, we're fishing. And we're fishing in this little cove, and you can see to the bottom, and I'm like, oh my God, look at this damn bass. And thing's probably about 2 or 3 feet long, huge bass. I've never seen a bass so big. I'm like, oh my God, honey, look. Throw my lure in. Bass swims up to it, looks at it. I'm like, oh God, don't move. It's gonna eat it. It must have was almost like it was like eternity time. It's like, don't move. It was like, which it wasn't long, but it felt like it was like, you know, eternity. It's like, oh my God, eat this thing. Swims up to it, looks at it, and just almost as if it had its own mind. It was like, nah, I'm not eating that. Right? It just swims to the right. It's like, nah, I'm not eating that. And I'm like, oh man. And she was like, wow, that thing was huge. And I was like, God, I just missed the biggest bass of my life or whatever. Like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, I'd read about how the fish were huge and everything, and the men at the fishermen at the store were telling me how big the trout were and how to catch them. And so we had gotten our minnows and done what they said. To catch the trout, you've got to go down about 40 or 50 feet. And that's like in the middle of the channel, and you're going to catch the trout. They're down there. Anyways, long story short, we come back. We cook out. Now, I'm trying to think. Let's see. Friday, Saturday. We set up Friday. Saturday, we fished. So, Saturday night. Now, we had my dog with us. And, so the ranger comes through and we give the ranger the money for the campsite. And, we, fire going. We had dinner and all that. And my dog's with us. And we had taken my dog for a real long walk. And she ran up the trail, ran back the trail, which was real dangerous because she possibly not. Well, one time she's run off several times. And she about ran off when I kept telling my girlfriend that she's going to run off again. And we're not going to find her. I had to actually go find her again. So, long story short, the ranger, it's later on in the evening, ranger comes through. It was later on in the evening when the ranger came through. We were lucky. You're not supposed to be drinking whiskey or whatever. We had some whiskey or whatever. I think it was tequila or maybe it was Jack Daniels. I'm not positive on this. Anyways, God, I do this in all my videos. Excuse me. Just 1 second. Alright, it's not a Western movie, but we could make it one. We'd have to get a horse and call Clint. Get his Winchester out. Orange 44. Anyways, all right, getting back to Tchaikovsky. Which that would be cool. He could ride his horse through Tchaikovsky down to the lake, and they do have riding trails there. That would be cool. So, anyways, the ranger leaves and everything. Fire's going down. All right, so we're getting in the tent. We get in the tent. My dog's outside. And my dog is not gonna bark unless, and she's not gonna bark. She was half beagle, half cocker. She like growled or whatever, you know. Well, all of a sudden, my dog starts, she's outside the tent, and she goes into her growl thing. And I'm going, honey, something's out there. She goes, I hear her. No, something's out there. Yeah, there's something up near there's waterfalls up above from where we're camped at. We hiked up that way. If you go to Lake Chicasi, you go to the campsite, there's waterfalls that you can hike up the trail to the waterfall area. We're hearing this screeching sound. It's so loud. It's got my girlfriend freaked out. My dog comes running into the tent, which this has never happened between us. Like, there's something out there, and I'm like, no shit. Excuse my right. My dog. My dog is half beagle, half cocker spaniel. It's like one of the meanest little dogs, nicest little dogs to kids and people, right? But when it comes to like something that like when it's hunting, it's just as mean as can be. She's look at her. It's like there's something out there. So now we're all three freaked out. While this thing is screaming, and it's almost as if it was like pissed off at campers at the campsite. And it was like crashing trees or some kind of crazy thing. This went on for hours, to the point that like in the morning we got up. In the morning we got up, and like my dog was like walking real quietly. My girlfriend, she was real quiet. We were like still listening. Oh God, this thing like coming out of the forest at any time. It's like, and I'm like, she's like, my girlfriend. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm cooking breakfast. And so yeah, we had breakfast. And right, she was loading everything up in her van. By the time we had breakfast finished, she was we left. We left. Right, I wanted to go fishing another day. And she was like, "No, we're going home." So, right, episode 4. And then I was like, I didn't want to tell her my Bigfoot or dogman, now that I've researched everything, encounters. But this thing, and this is Lake Chakossie, it had to have been up near the falls. This was not a bear. That thing was so loud. There were other people in the camp. No, you walk over to, they had showers and a restroom in the middle of the campsite at Lake. And so in the morning, right, and everything was all quiet. But I mean, it was a ways, but I was looking over at them like, and they were kind of like looking at me. Right? It's like, that wasn't me last night. Okay, I really enjoyed the fishing trip. I did, I really did. We didn't catch nothing real. The people that were next to us, they caught some huge trout. So now there were people. We missed a huge bass, and we missed. Did miss a couple. You have to catch those trout when they hit. You have to, right. But we were more out there having a good time and everything. And of course, if we did catch anything, we would have to, measure it and weigh it and all that to see if it was keepable. But we were going for the man was telling me, they're like 10, 15, 20 pounds. I'm like, God. But the bass that we missed, I was like, God, if we would have caught that and come back to the store and say, man, look what we caught. It's like, God, son, that is huge. It's right. You would almost want to say, man, I'm going to leave it with you. It's like, y'all can stuff it and put it on the wall here. They had all these huge fish they had caught. They were like 20 or 30-pound trout, and I was like, God, that would be delicious just to catch one of those, and to eat one of those would just delicious. I mean, they're 20 or 30 pounds. They got trout in there, right, that are huge. This is a lake that is a trophy lake. You've got to go to Lake Chakossie and go fishing there. And you've got to go swimming there, canoeing, go to the waterfalls, camp. I'm going to compare Lake Chakossie, and I have not been to Lake Tahoe. I'm going to compare Lake Chakossie as the lake of the east that compares to Lake Tahoe of the west. And I have not been to Lake Tahoe, but I've seen videos of it. And I've had people tell me that's the deepest of the North America, biggest lake, this, that, the other. Jacassi is the lake that all the Linville Gorge and all the rivers flow into, and it's crystal blue, and you can see to the bottom. It's a man-made lake. So, anyways, he's up there. Sasquatch is up there. Freaked my dog out. We left. My girlfriend kept saying, "What was that making that god awful sound all night long?" She couldn't sleep. She was a nurse at the hospital, and sleep was big to her. And of course, she had to go to work the next day or whatever. And I did make. It was probably a Bigfoot. And of course, her response, "Yeah, Bigfoot, right?" And I was just silent as we drove I-85 north back home. I don't think she encountered any. Well, I don't know. She lived in the north, in the mountains of north. Well, she did nursing work for people in the North Carolina mountains that were um I believe on welfare for the. I don't know. I don't know how she explained it to me. Anyway, she helped people that part of her job at one time was helping people in the North Carolina mountains. She would travel to their homes, give them medical help. So, yeah, just a phenomenal person. Okay, now that's episode 4. I got episode 5 coming up. And I'm asking all you people that have had paranormal experiences, or if there's somebody missing. We had a friend of ours that in college that walked into a trail and never came back. And he would go hiking just about, you know, on a. I mean, he would go hiking. He would tell all of us where he was going hiking. And one day he went hiking and he never came back. This was up in near Boone, North Carolina, Appalachian Trail area, I believe. Not positive on this. We would drive there with our friends to the spot that he walked into and never came back, and would go looking for him on a weekly basis when we had time. And we never found him. And to this day, I mean, you know, gotta wonder what happened to him. So we're gonna go into missing people 411. Always carry a beacon device, a satellite phone, a cell phone, a compass. God, I'm gonna say a flare gun or one of those guns you shoot off like you're in a boat, the ocean. One of those. Right, you might have to shoot at a damn Sasquatch or a Bigfoot or a skinwalker, dogman, mothman. What people like, oh, that's not true. Right. Satellite beacon, cellular, flare gun, apparently a 500 Magnum and an AK-47. You have to have a high caliber rifle and gun, or you're apparently not up to par with what you're shooting at. Right. Right, and that's not my right. A grenade. A grenade. Right. A bazooka. Right. Two or three of your buddies. Right. Don't go by yourself. Right. And now I've gone by myself so much it's crazy. It's like, well, how come I haven't disappeared? Portals, dimensions, okay, different dimensions. Now, I don't know how many dimensions there are. The fifth dimension. I think that was a band. Yeah, it's a band. And so we're gonna do episode 5 is coming up. You gotta go to Electric Coffee though. If you don't go to Electric Coffee and you live in North Carolina or South Carolina or even Virginia or Georgia, even Florida, if you're on the East Coast, you need to go to Lake Jacossi. Go to the check in with the game, the wildlife people, get your parks people, get your fishing license. Go to the tackle place there, get your what you need, and attempt to catch just a huge fish. That if you do catch one, it's going to be delicious dinner. And you need to go there, get your campsite, prepare for the screaming. This thing screamed all night long. In fact, I think it was like just wanted to keep my girlfriend up and knew it. I didn't get my dog came in, looked at me, it was like, there's something out there. It's like, well, it's been a long day, we're gonna rest. And it's like, well, I'm sleeping here. My dog was my little beagle was like, she was like, look at me, I'm sleeping now between y'all, not going anywhere. Right. If you stay at the upper campsite where we stayed, you could encounter a screaming, when I'm gonna say it was a Sasquatch. Okay. But now I'm wondering if Dogman screams like that. Because all of a sudden I've been researching, all of a sudden it's like Dogman. And I'm like, okay, alright, maybe it wasn't Sasquatch. Maybe it detected my dog. You know? That would be, something to find out. So, different episodes coming up. Episode 5. Why am I saying 1, 2, 3, 4? Anyways, next episode's coming up. If you hit the button down to the right side there and subscribe, I'm getting 1,000 subscribers, and then I'm going live. Used to be able to go live. You have to have 1,000 subscribers now to go live. And hoping to go live. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, get a medal, another NASCAR medal, and head to the championships, I'm going to go live. And okay. Hoping to win the championships next year in my division, the bronze division. Right, I'm hoping that I don't move up to silver or gold. It's like, oh God, you should have stayed in the bronze division. You could still be racing with Bill and Jeff and Dick. Right, these are like the guys that are in their 80s. Right, they're cool. It's like, nah, man, I'm hanging down here. Right, it's like, nah, we're moving you up. It's like, no. All right, episode 5, 4 or 5. God, I'm losing count. Right when I get up to 100, it's like, God, how many Bigfoot episodes encounters has he had? It's like I've had a lot because I've hiked a lot, and it's crazy. So that was 4, right? 1, 2, 3, right? 4. We did the broad. Let's see, Camp Thunder, right? 3. We're anyways 4, 3, 4, what have you. We're hoping to do like 300 of them. It's like, oh God, I had an encounter. It's like, all right, well, all right. So now let me go back to that. Now you can be anonymous. 704-458-1318. Stephen Evangelist Realty. If you're looking to own a home, sell a house, need a, I mean, I don't want you to sell the farm, but if you're selling the farm, let me know. God, I'm gonna cry with you. And Stephen Evangelist at carolina.rr.com. And I know a lot of y'all have had encounters out here. So, now that was Jacossi. We're going to move on. Thinking about doing the one where I walked from Glowing Rock to Banner Elk. It was a full moon, and it snowed. I walked, or hiked, whatever you want to call it. And this creature, this being, or whatever you want to, I don't even know how to explain it to you. As I walked, it walked. And it got real creepy. So we'll go into that episode. That's coming up. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you would, hit the subscribe button, because that's going to let me go live. I've got to get 1,000 people to subscribe, and then I can go live. Once I go live, I can do the videos of the ski championships and all that. And eventually they will let me do what's called monetization, where it's not costing y'all anything. Where ads will come on or something, and that they actually pay me somehow. I don't know how it works out, but they actually will send me a check, which is crazy. So, right, so I can't thank y'all more than enough for tuning in. Right, for episode 5. Right, we haven't even gone into the missing people, the 411, and how different people have let's see here now. There's David Politis, and then the guy that does the interviewing with them and all that, and all these people that are researching people that are missing. And some of these people they never found. Or cases. It's like, well, was there ever even a case on that person? It's like, well, we looked for him for 7 days. I'm like, I mean, I'm listening to all the videos or trying to watch as many as I can, and I'm going, oh my God. Right, and this guy was a detective, or was, excuse me, a police officer, detective, all that. Right, he knows his, he knows his stuff, or whatever you want to say. He knows, right. He's got his shit together. He got police officers from or detective, or whatever, the wildlife rangers, whatever the national parks do, knocking on his door, going, man, this is all true. We don't know where they are. After 7 days, they dismissed it, and no, they don't have any files. They burned them all. People just disappearing, vanished. They have no idea. Right. Some people thought they found was their clothes. They're like, oh, well, a mountain lion can come up and grab you and throw you off a cliff. Well, yeah. But that's not mountain lion area. Well, they were near water and they drowned. Yeah, but they said that they were in the water, but they said that's not what killed them. Or they were in a boulder field. That wasn't the trail they went down. I mean, just crazy things. oh, there's a group of crazy people that apparently live out in the wilderness that take people and kill them. It's like, God. If you can go to the Arizona desert, which heads towards Mexico, apparently in the cliffs, there's apparently giants that live there. There's people's heads that have been torn off and all sorts of crazy things that have happened out in the desert there. And you can look up on YouTube about how the army went and killed a giant in the Afghanistan desert. Whatever. Anyways, in the Arizona desert, there's apparently giants live in the cliffs. There's caves there. And I'm like, I can't believe what I'm watching here. Right, and I'm watching this on YouTube going, oh my God. And it's like, and they're like, well, how come people never make it through the desert there? It's because they get eaten. Old Indian legend, which I'm 1/4 Indian. Don't travel that, don't go through there, don't travel through there, don't go to that land. It's like, why? It's because you'll never come back. It's like, wow. Not how. Wow. Right, wow. Yeah. So, okay. This is another episode. I hope I haven't brought anybody into some other type of dimension where they're like, oh God, man, I can't think straight after like listening to him. It's like, well, reality. All these things that people say that, oh, that's not true. That's not true. It is true. There is a Bigfoot. There is a dogman. There is a mothman. There are people from other universes that laugh at us. The government does know things that they're not going to let you know. Okay? We lived on the Air Force Base. I take that back. We lived on an Air Force Base that was very high security. Okay. In Japan. So, and there are different portals and dimensions, and there is skinwalker. And it can be proven. All this can be proven. So, coming up with the next episode, I want y'all tuning in. I need you to subscribe, working out, getting another medal, and heading to the championships in Snowmass, Colorado to win the gold. Which that's going to be a blast. You're looking to own a home, sell a house, real estate consultation. You just want to know what your property's worth. call me. 704-458-1318. You can text. It doesn't matter. Text is best. Text is best. Bext. BEXT. I'll have to research that. Stephen Evangelist at carolina.rr.com. We're going to continue on. I'm hoping to get a friend of mine or whatever, and we'll probably go anonymous on it. That way all you other people can tap in. It's like, and let you tell me, what you've encountered, what's happened. I don't care if a bear has walked through your campsite, or you thought it was a bear. Huh. Let me know. Okay.